I've directed that the Omituntun mass transit buses should be deployed to more routes within the state for free. We're also working with the local government chairman to see what immediate palliatives we can make available to the most vulnerable amongst us to alleviate the hardship that the twin scarcity of fuel and the naira have brought upon our people. Once again, we have another opportunity to put an end to oppressive system, and that is through the ballots. For now, I urge everyone to remain calm as we're doing our best to mitigate the hardships. God bless Oyo State. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Sheyi. And that is a man that is actually working for Tinubu. A member of is a PDP governor and a member of the G5 of Werewike. Okay, he kind of wanted to, he want to, I mean, should I say he want, or he looked responsible, right? He is a joke too. Or you'll find out soon. He is working for Kolu in a political deal that has made most of them become toothless bulldogs. They are not even courageous enough. Are you with me? To say it publicly and say yes after all of that drama, to say it loud and clear. But some are saying that Mayegun don't point fingers, okay? Werewike a madman, right? That the moment they realize that Werewike has told his men in River States that they will have to work for Tinubu in River State, and is already creating a lot of problem even within River State, where Werewike's men are already shooting anybody that opposes that move. It's like a war zone. That's what they are preparing for in Rivers because of Wike. And he couldn't even say it publicly and say, I have told my people to go and work for Kolu because Obi can't win. He still believes that Obi can't win. But the situation around everybody in the country right now is like Buhari is setting all of them up. Somehow, they seems to be the only ones who are now so worried about the Buhari's failure and possibly the impending doom, so to say. So they said that because it seems that, I mean, they said that Werewike is the only one who agreed to a deal with Tinubu, and that has created a sort of a break within them where others, okay, are not comfortable with Tinubu. But as they are right now, they have become inconsequential. Somebody said that, don't say that, oh, Werewike and all of them are still very much valuable in this. Listen, they are part of the establishment. Their deal is to, they have abandoned Atiku and they have picked up a Tinubu. That's their deal. That is what they want to deliver. So if they deliver them as they promise, yeah, it means so much to Tinubu, of course. But what do they mean to you in all of this? All of it. What do you think they mean to you? Anyway, Wike has jumped on the bandwagon. The coward who can't really name or publicly say, I am working for APC. Egbekebe is throwing shade.
Now, because of corruption, now they do this, No be true. When did they fight corruption for 3 months, all of us they go? 3 months, now they fight corruption? No. No be so. No be so. This policy now policy where people they target. Say make an invest. When I invest, and I'll go demonstrate. When I demonstrate, the riot fee come. When riot can't come, they say, oh, no, don't fit the election again. Then they go say, we could do interim government. And I go support interim government. No way! No matter the provocation, I go tell everybody, Melembe. This election we go do am. This election we go do am. This election we go do am. Because nothing will stop Opopo Nkoroma to be governor. Nothing. God don't ordain them. Yes, sir. So anybody when they do anything, make we vex, to go protest, to go fight, make enemies come capitalize on that. No way. To say they don't postpone the election. No way. My interim government. Far. This election, Now by your PVC, no be so.
Now so.
This election now by waiting.
PVC.
Now by waiting.
PVC.
This election no be election of Caballo. Now election of what? Nigerians.
Now so.
Now election of what?
Nigerians.
Cabal, stay where you did. Allow Nigerians to use their PVC and vote for their son to become governor.
Now so.
For Barinada and Piggy to become senator.
Now so.
For Adiante to go back to the House of Reps.
Now so.
For Adolphus to go to the assembly.
It don't finish.
Not be so.
Now so.
Make nobody try them to say they won't do anything when they go score through this election. If those people will be agents, devil will go see them.
Now so.
All this way they plot this button, them and devil go meet.
They go meet.
No be sure I talk.
Now so.
No be sure I talk.
Now so.
Gbẹ́ni gbẹ́nu sọ́hun kò dákẹ́ kò mẹ̀lẹ́ short and mẹ̀lẹ́ fraud. I don't know what to say there. I wanted to say that you should just keep quiet and shut up. I sometimes kind of like listening to him. He's an empty drum. If they do for Port Harcourt and they say the military tank are rolling, this weary will jump on the next available speedboats and next available private jets. Now from Turkey, he go to talk to you. But did you listen to what he said? I would remind, I don't worry. I will dissect them to you, for you. Hang on. He said, there is a plot to create crisis in Nigeria with this fuel and naira, so that people will protest and it will lead to riots. And then the government will now come out and say they don't think they can conduct any elections. So they are going to postpone it. And by postponing it with all of that, the government at the center will remain. It is called National State of Emergency. And how many of you, now I'm gonna, especially you the obedient, here is one theory among many other theories. In the past, that people have warned us that Buhari and team, they have 3 plans. 3. In order to either keep power or never allow an election in Nigeria. I will remind you of them all because there's so much to take in. Things that happen in Nigeria every day and every week. But these are part of the signals. 3. The first one, they said, by constitution, if any part of Nigeria, for any insecurity reason, is unsafe, the president of Nigeria is allowed by your law. It doesn't need National Assembly. It doesn't need anybody personal. Just the draft of the Attorney General of Nigeria. Okay, that's it. It will declare that there can be an election if a part or any part of Nigeria is unsafe to conduct elections. In Nigeria today, they have 6 geopolitical zones: Northwest, Northeast, North Central, Southwest, Southeast, and South. 6. Today, the pipelines and oil installation in the Delta, Niger Delta, are not being manned or protected by Nigeria, but retired and rehabilitated and recontracted militants of Niger Delta are being paid billions of your money every month just to keep the pipeline safe. In northern Nigeria, as huge, as big as landmass is, listen to me very well. More than 60% of the northern part of Nigeria are no longer under the control of Nigerian government. I'm saying this because there are facts to back all of this up. Communities have been ransacked. Where people stayed back, they are now paying their taxes to the terrorists that took over their villages years ago. Seriously, the government of Nigeria knows that. The Nigerian military knows that. There are areas they don't go anymore. And the people there, they have been forgotten. In Nigeria of today, in eastern Nigeria, under Buhari and his vengeful mission against the Igbos, they've orchestrated a political unrest, political instability, serious insecurity in eastern Nigeria, just for one man to avenge something he couldn't do in a space of 3 years, 1967 to 1970. He came back now, he still couldn't do it. They can call and say there will be no election in Nigeria because of the insecurity in eastern Nigeria, orchestrated by Buhari. What about that part of southwest Nigeria? Areas where our people have become refugees, places where Fulani terrorists are collecting taxes from our people, up north in Oyo State. Oh, come on. All of these are enough for them to say no election. And they will be right. You will be angry. And because Buhari and all the failure that came with it have received one thing and one thing only: the mandate and protection and assurance and the loyalty of the Nigerian military. The Nigerian defense system, they have been given a blank check to do whatever they want, as much as they will keep him safe and protect his regime. It's not a government, it's a regime. You know that, I know that, and all of us do know that. However, the Werewike and Co. in 2023 are now telling us that the fuel scarcity, naira scarcity, and so many other plots that they are yet to tell you are signals and signs that could make them postpone the election or never hold the election. Do you know that their constitution, your fraudulent constitution, allow them to postpone the election for 2 years or more until they are comfortable enough to see that it is comfortable to conduct the election? You're not thinking about that. But is impossible. It no go happen if they try am there. Now war. Now war. I would actually love to see that for real. Because the end goal in one of those plans for them not to allow the power to go back to southern Nigeria, even people in their own political party are not trusted. We have been one of this for over 2 years. They openly bragged about it. But a lot of people said, nah, it's not going to happen. Throwing Nigeria into a civil war in order for them to make sure that, would you have an election when you have a civil war? No, you won't. Now, at the end of the day, a military could come up in the midst of the chaos. The likes of Wike and Co., they will be the first to run away. Sure. Because they know they will be the first targets to be killed, as they are killing a lot of you as well on the streets. No election, no election. I said, see, if they figure out that they have perfected everything and they are comfortable with what the outcome is going to be, they will do their election, even in the enclave of the Fulani terrorists as well as Boko Haram. Even Boko Haram will queue to vote. All of them will just be like, okay, we are retiring for today. We want to do it. But if they are not interested in letting the power go, then you are up for something. Now, Werewike is mentioning it now, that there will be this election. Do you remember that it was Tinubu that first mentioned there will be election? Whether they want to hide, they should continue hiding fuel, they should continue hiding naira, but there will be an election. We will vote and he will win. That's exactly what Werewike is also repeating there. No cabal, but he couldn't go further and say Tinubu will be the president. But he kept using his own candidates in Rivers State. I just thought I should remind you. The first one is to make sure that to bank on the insecurity in Nigeria and never conduct an election. The second one is to bank on the new newly created crisis that they want to build on to create a chaos, they'll make it impossible to do an election. The third one is that in the midst of that chaos or post-election crisis, there could be a military coup. All of these are possible and possibilities. But because why would a government that is in power put you through all of this hardship when they have a candidate that also wants to take over from them? Like, ask yourself, I am just saying, okay, you don't really have to take it. In other words, right? Somebody said this Obi and obedient PDP and APC didn't factor them in when they are plotting. You know, as they are, let me tell you, the way these criminals always think, right? When PDP was there, they have shared the position for the next 50 years. And they bragged about it. They said they will be in power for 50 years. But they are gone after 16, Abi. Metamorphosed into APC, Egbekegbe. Right? Now, within that same APC, Egbekegbe, they have the same mindset, the same ideology. And that is all about your turn, my turn, our turn, turn by turn Nigeria Limited. Do you get that? So, as they are, it's all sorted. And it should just be a straight fight between two octogenarian, one that is so unknown. That's Tinubu. The other one, a career thief, a criminal, and a jihadist too. You see, if you think Tinubu, if you think Buhari has a soft spot for Fulani terrorists, that means you haven't really met Atiku and his own belief when it comes to this, when it comes to this jihadist, this clanship, this tribal, what have you. It would have been a straight fight. They didn't plan for Obi. A lot of you didn't plan for them. I didn't plan for them. So when they happened, I was like, okay, let's see. But I saw something because I saw what was driving them. Obi only inherited already organized people, determined young people who have been mobilizing themselves for what you are now seeing as a political revolution. Whether they are going to win or not, you have to admit they are a problem now. And the establishment is admitting to that too. But as much as they are, instead of the establishment, PDP and APC, right, to really crash or crush disobedient and all of them, they have just been misfiring. Have you not noticed? I'll tell you. Instead of them, right, to be in a way in control as usual of all these third parties, all these third forces, as you know, what happened is that the establishment ended up being reactionary to them. Have you not noticed? The establishment, PDP, APC, are not controlling their narrative. They are controlling the entire narrative, and the system, PDP, APC, are reacting to that. Let me give you an example. APC, Egbekegbe, they decided to pick Muslim ticket right before your own very, very eyes. Oh. And they expected that, you know, get choice. What do you want to do? What do you want to do if they pick Muslim? What do you want to do? That's exactly the audacity. Because that's what the system, the establishment, that's how they treat you. You can be angry, you can be raging. What are you going to do? People destroying people. Schemed. Spend so much money buying their own delegate, producing another Fulani man from northern Nigeria to run and possibly be elected as president of Nigeria to take over from another Fulani. Come on, man. So it would have been a straight fight. Like, oh yeah, face them. But today, they are now the people now accusing, listen, they are accusing the obedient of being intolerant, of being bullish. They have no respect. They just, this and that. They hate Nigeria. People that destroyed Nigeria are accusing the people that they are the victims of the ruined Nigeria. They are accusing them of they hate Nigeria. Have you not been noticing? That's what I mean. They have been reactionary. They have been reacting to the pressure of the people who have no structure. Because they didn't plan for them. I don't know if I'm making any sense. I am saying, right, the true meaning of education, or anyone being able to say, I am educated, is your ability to learn, unlearn, and be able to accept new facts that even when they are uncomfortable, you know what I mean? Those things they call uncomfortable truth. To be an educated person means you have to accept them. They are not your making. You didn't write them. You didn't create them. But they are facts that you can't pretend not to be there. That's what I've observed, though. If you ask me 1,000,000 times. And in their mind, right, they believe that even if you want to use tribe, religion on us, I don't think you can go to bed and be confident that it's a done deal. And I can tell you this, something like what they call the Ijalo. I'm like, what do they call Ijalo again? I don't want to call it ant. I've been soldier ant. What do they call Ijalo again? That's exactly what these guys have become. The obedient. With social media, this day and time, Baba, when you listen to APC and the rest of them screaming, telling you, be this, be that, one of the reasons is this. So listen to this guy.
It's unfortunate in this country when we came out in 2019, because it was still the turn of the North, and backed Atiku. None of them said it was religious. So if it is a northerner, it is not religious. If it is a southerner, it is religious. It is very funny. People use all sorts of arguments to buttress their position when they find out that they are lacking in the basics and basic requirements for governance. Peter Obi, forget about whether he is a Christian or he is a Hindu or whatever religion. Keep him side by side with the other principal contestants in this game and look at their pedigree, what their performance is. Even now, I can assure you that Peter Obi stands out. But for the money bags who can only talk of money, what do they have to offer to Nigeria? Peter Obi, from his track records, whether he's Christian, Muslim, Hindu, whatever, stands out as a better candidate for Nigeria. And he comes from the geopolitical zone which we believe deserve to have the presidency in 2023. So whoever is bringing all those arguments can go ahead. Nigerians have eyes, Nigerians have ears. In 2015, everybody came, say Baba, say Baba. Nobody cared about whether APC was dominated by Muslims or by whichever ethnicity or whatever, but we voted for him. Today, Nigerians are disappointed. So we are producing and providing a material which we believe would rescue Nigeria, but the new Nigeria we want, so that we can move ahead and have a better country which is inclusive and which would be governed with all the indices of development moving forward. Peter.
Right. And just like we went to Nassarawa to listen to Kolu and Buhari, I am going to take you to Abeokuta, where indeed the obedient themselves, Obi and all his guys, were also in town. And I'll keep it in the diary as usual. Right. So let's go to Abeokuta, where he met with the Alake, or right there in the Ake Palace, starting from the entrance. This. And then I think inside the palace, where when they finally get an entrance inside, this is how it was.
It's coming. Who will this? This way.
Please let's sit down, please. Abisi, Alailoa, Dr. Michael Adidoto, Mubari, Ayakimaju, Ajubiji, Ajuberumaju, everything a competition. Mobile to go to William Beja, William Buhari, Abis and Yapaluri, and Apology. If I was not a we have to look at the very who are sharing. It's a magic of the I will say, one is your way. You have to have it, that is one in Mosaku. Never have a weapon on that you. Abisi. I welcome Your Excellency, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, to this ancient palace.
And, because still have a bit of a stretch to share with you. What did he tell them in the palace? What did he tell them outside the palace and all that? But there is something I want to quickly say. Okay. Usually, when, I don't know, maybe I'll say this in the sense that I'm just going to look at it as those who make statements like this are new on Mayegun's diary political. So I have to repeat myself and explain it to you, okay? Now, number one, right? This is Mayegun's diary political, all right? A platform that doesn't like anything to do with Nigerian politicians. Take that as the first point. But not liking all your politicians also have categories. Let's start with those who have the responsibility to prevent all of this that you are witnessing in Nigeria today. I am talking about how things escalated from what they were in 2015 to what they are now. 7 years after, 8 years after, in 2023. Now, if you want to look at the Nigeria politicians and their category of what do you call it, their level of dislike or what have you on this platform, they are explained. Before APC, Abeokuta came, or should I say, it was the failure of people destroying people that brought in APC, Abeokuta. Now, for whatever was your conviction then, looking at the rogues and criminals that came together to put together this APC, Abeokuta, 7 years after that, yeah, you might not be taking responsibility, which is part of what your leaders don't. So on Mayegun's diary political, we share the responsibility. The last 8 years of Nigeria has been the worst 8 years of Nigeria and Nigerians themselves. Nigeria has never been this divided. Nigeria has never been this looted. Nigeria has never been this terrorized. And Nigeria has never been this economically destroyed. Those are facts. Now, you don't share that with other people simply because what? They are also politicians. We know those who have committed these crimes. APC, Abeokuta. Now, because of the way Nigeria is structured, you know that you have two major political parties. Not because they control the center, but because a lot of them also control controls the component part of this the country. PDP controls about 16 to 17 states or 15 states. APC, Abeokuta, controls about 22, and the center, ANABGA, controls 1. Now, here is something. When you talk about poverty, APC is responsible for it. When you talk about indebtedness, APC is responsible for it. When you talk about joblessness, APC is responsible for it. You don't share that. You don't turn around and say, what is Atiku doing about security? Show Madini. What can Atiku do about security? Tell me. What can Obi do about security? If you are not mad, the responsibility is that of APC, Abeokuta, led by Buhari. What is Atiku doing about 133 million people living in poverty? What should Atiku do? Oh, he should share the money because of the rate they have messed up with your brain and your life, possibly. The people responsible for the 133 million people living in poverty in Nigeria are APC, Abeokuta. Don't share it. And don't give that as an excuse and say, Mayegun, you should condemn all of them. Those who are responsible for what is happening right now, APC, Abeokuta. And that's what makes people destroying people not an alternative. You know that? They are just the same, and you know it. So therefore, on Mayegun's diary political, like I said, now by measurement, I am very biased towards people destroying people, towards Al-Qaeda People's Congress. Don't come onto my platform and say, why are you trying to be nice to Obi? I'm not nice to them. I'm just reporting what it should be. You might want me to condemn Obi for the reason why you have no fuel right now, if that will make you feel comfortable. Oh, you might want me to help you condemn Atiku for the reason why there is fuel scarcity or there is a naira scarcity, because if it makes you feel good. But it's not true, it's not fact. And if Atiku and Obi are responsible for all your problems in Nigeria right now, what is APC doing to stop them and get you a better life? So don't come onto my Mayegun's diary political and start asking me to be fair to Ayen Shoni. I've never hidden that. I've told you, and I've actually made my position on the obedient themselves very clear. I'm not your friend. I am not. But I love what you are doing, because you are like the karma that the people destroying people, Al-Qaeda People's Congress, they didn't prepare for. That is why I'm going to try and use my own platform to debunk some of the lies they usually put up. Most of them that are laced with religion, tribal, and the rest of that. You don't come on to Mayegun's diary political and ask for fear, whatever, when APC and PDP are in the picture. Show Yahweh. Whatever Obi and the rest of them are doing are all laid bare here. He speak for himself. You judge them. Now you won't vote. Go and see them. But don't come on to Mayegun's diary political and pretend that I am as senile as some of you, the weary one Nigerianist. Come on, don't mix them up. Don't. I'm going to take you back to Abeokuta, the Alake's palace. What did he tell them there? When they handed him the microphone. Obi at the Ake Palace. Let's listen to what he said there.
Let me stand and hold you on this protocol. Your Majesty, sincerely thank you for this.
More quick thing. I forgot that. I should have added that. Let me explain something to some of you, especially a lot of you who are just major keypad warriors. You are very good. You have a lot of suggestions for people that you are not part of. I remember when IPOB was making so much pressure, especially on the Igbo politicians at the time, that they were forced, all the governors, all of them, they came together. They had to invite Nnamdi Kanu with the attempt that they could probably buy him, which failed. Some people were saying, they were condemning them all, condemning IPOB, but at the same time, they're like, why can't IPOB just turn to political party? Contest election and then, which was actually a good idea if Nigeria was a country, but Nigeria is not one. You know that. But they are not members of the IPOB. The ideology, the ideas, and whatever drives IPOB, they are not part of it, but they wish that with the influence of IPOB, they could just go political. Also, the likes of the obedience today, if you know their story, starting from the NSAS, a lot of you are not their members. A lot of you didn't take the voters card because you don't want to be part of it. You want a referendum, you want Biafra, you want Yoruba nation. Then you have to build something strong enough so that you can then be part of that to make your demand known. You don't sit behind your phones and start saying, hey, these idiots, instead of them to be fighting for referendum, they are fighting for Obi-Wan Nigeria. Listen, that's not how things work. That's not how the world works. Do you get that? When the Shiites were being attacked in Zaria, they have the number. In fact, they brag that the Shiites in northern Nigeria are more than 20 million in population. When the Shiites were being killed and slaughtered, then people came and they said, only if this Shiite could join the election, join the political this, and then be able to wield their influence. But you are not a member of Shiite. So if you want to be a member of something, if you want to be something, if you want to be part of something that changes something, you would have to leave that your phone. You would have to be part of something that is significant enough beyond that your keypad warrior. We need to fight somebody with the France. His own family and children, they are sleeping in another room, watching a broadcast on social media, typing. All these idiots, instead of them to come together and buy gun, that's the weary that is actually bidding his time, because he's going to resume his own work by 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. On Sunday, keypad warriors. I just thought I should tell you. See, you are not part of the obedient. I am not part of them. So you can only wish that they could do something else. For if you want to shake a system, then you must be part of a bigger thing that will affect what you wish. You don't sit down and wish on, why don't they do that? Why can't they do that one? Why don't we just go and fight them? That's somebody who is living in Turkey. Has never heard a catapult, but it's there. I just thought I should tell you. Let's go back to the Abeokuta.
Let me stand and hold you on this protocol. Your Majesty, we sincerely thank you for this audience. We thank you for the opportunity of granting us this audience. For us, we're in Abeokuta today for our state rally, and we did it necessary that we cannot go to that rally, do anything without coming to pay royalties to you, His Majesty, and all the fathers of this land, is to go out there with your blessing and your good wishes. That is why we're here. Thank you. But that notwithstanding, we have also used the same opportunity of paying our respects and relatives to be able to bring to your kind attention a few minutes what we've been doing across the whole country. Our party, Labour Party, are committed to a new Nigeria. Daddy and I have been going around Nigeria preaching to everybody on this new Nigeria. Your Majesty, in the past 20 years, all Nigeria has achieved is that it becomes a state that can be classified as a failed state. Because the two most important ingredients of failed state is qualified. When you're no longer in control of your territory, so it becomes one of the most insecure places on the surface of the earth. Insecurity is everywhere. None of you today goes out, including royal fathers, and be sure you will go home safe. In the past 20 years, number two is the economy, when you're no longer in control of the economy. In the past 20 years, all Nigeria has done is has doubled the number of poor people living in the country. Our own national bureau statistics say that we have 123 million people living in multi-dimensional poverty. Your Majesty, that is higher than India. India is 1.4 billion people, but Nigeria has more people living in poverty than India, and it's 7 times our population. In fact, Nigeria has more people living in poverty than India and China combined. Both of them are 2.8 billion people, but Nigeria has more people living in poverty than two of them combined.
Sorry for the quality of that video. I'm just using what I could get to get you updated on all of this. So maybe we should leave the palace and take you down to where he met with the students in Abeokuta as well. What did he tell them? How did he go? I'm going to take you there. Here. Everything that has to do with everything with a student is always like yeah. So let's skip all of that. What did he tell them? You know why I love using that word? I mean that phrase, like what? I mean that question, like what did he tell them? So that whatever he told them there, you have a chance of hearing that, and then maybe, just maybe, it will give you an idea of why more and more and more and more and more of them are trooping to him, because it seems to be the only person who is actually saying something. Even if he's repeating something everywhere, right? Is the one that's saying something that could answer your question. Kolu can't. You know that. And I mean, Atiku is more or less like choreographed packaging so that people won't see much, not too much searchlight. So what did he tell the students in Abeokuta? Let's go listen.
Do this as quickly as possible, because you know, for us to go and see the Oba who was living, for us to go and sit down, please. For us to go and see the Oba who was living, we want you to listen to us, please. Sit down, please. For us to go and see the Oba who is living, we went near the palace, and that was where we were supposed to do our rally. So when we left, we said, let's come and see the students first. When we left to come and see you, the people who are there thought we are gone. They thought we are going and they started going. So I'll plead with you, we'll just do this as quickly as possible and still plead with you to join us in the rally. One you and I, my dear people, politics all over the world, and what we are doing today is about you. It's about your future. It's about the future of society where you're going to live in. As a student, all over the world, I met great leaders coming to campaign in universities and everything. Because it's your future that we're toying with. It's your future that we're designing. Today, in the past 20 years, all Nigeria has done is that it has produced insecurity. Nobody is secured in Nigeria. It has produced poverty. Nigeria now has more people living in poverty than any other country of the world. We have actually more people living in poverty than the two biggest nations in population, China and India combined. We have more people living in poverty out of school children, 20 million, the highest in the world. We have the highest youth unemployment. The list is endless. And it's about you. It's about your future. What that and I are offering is that a new Nigeria is possible. And we can do that in Nigeria. So we only need to make fake promises. We only need to waste anybody's time. You are the part and parcel of this. You are the youth. You be part and parcel of it. You be part and parcel of it. You have been used over the years. When election comes, they've used you, they've done everything. In the end, you're defeated. Because in the end, the schools are shut down for 8 months. In the end, you're going to do a degree of 4 years. In the end, you're going to do a degree of 4 years. You stay there for 6, 7 years. Somebody said for 8 years. I'm just giving you an example. That is one way, that's what we want to stop. And we are pleading with you. You have been with them, you've seen them, they have nothing to offer. We're trying to say, and repeat again, a new Nigeria is possible. We want to be able to set up a government that will start dealing with these issues. We want to secure and protect Nigeria. Nigerians must be protected. Yes. The criminals are no more formidable. Criminals are no more formidable. What is lacking is leadership to deal with them. What is lacking is a proper security architecture that will allow our agencies to tackle that problem. And that is possible. Nigeria, we want a Nigeria where there will be rule of law. There will be law and order. And a better environment that will attract investment. And allow for proper development of entrepreneurship. We don't want a Nigeria where young people are arrested for carrying computer or laptop. We don't want that. We want a different Nigeria. We want a Nigeria where we will remove your country from consumption to that's what will give you jobs. Because we want to create jobs. We want you to be in school, knowing that when you leave school, you have opportunity. That's what we want to do. So this year's election, or this month's election, is not going to be based on tribe. Let nobody come and tell you, I am from here or from there. We've had it in the past. No tribe in Nigeria buys bread cheaper. No tribe in Nigeria is free of insecurity. No tribe in Nigeria is where you don't have unemployment. Every tribe in Nigeria, everybody's suffering. When they had ASU strike, there's no tribe that was excluded. Everybody was included. But when they come for election, they start dividing you. And you're listening to them. It will not be based on religion. No religion buys bread cheaper. No religion was excluded during ASU strike. Or those things that affect your parents, when they owe pension and gratuity, they do not do it according to religious line. They owe everybody. Unemployment of the youth, especially, is worse in the north and in the south. So it is not a tribal thing, it's not a religious thing. So we will say only Muslims have a job and Christians don't have. Only Christians and everything. And let nobody deceive you. It's only in this country that they talk such nonsense. I'm a Catholic. I'm a Christian. If I go to Dubai, since I've started going to Dubai since 1990, if I go there, the Catholic Church in Dubai is emeritus built by the Emir of Dubai. He doesn't take the land and build the church. And he's a Muslim. And his country is thriving. So let nobody tell us this nonsense any longer. That is what they contrive to get to power. And when they get to power, those who they rode on their back become their first victim. Please, we must stop it. Let nobody tell you it is turn. It is nobody's turn. It's your turn to take back the country. If there's anybody who will claim it is turn, I'm number one. If anybody who will claim it is
Oh, so sorry. I just touched that up. However, he actually continues. He has more. If you would mind. Yeah.
And I, Mr. Peter, my name is Mr. Peter.
Yes, you know.
I'm an alumnus of the University of Nigeria. An alumnus of Oxford University. An alumnus of Cambridge University. And I can go on and on. So our identities must be clear. So people can understand. And we're providing it. We don't want anybody to be suspicious of our background. Our background is very clear. And we are within it, like I always say to people. Our chairman, our party chairman, Julius Abore, is the same thing. On the average, my dear, I beg you, please. You know why I said it? I want to appeal to you people. Listen to us. What we are going through now does not call for singing. Let's solve this problem. Then we will dance and sing. Our chairman, Julius Abore, is something. Everybody knows his background. On the average of these three people sitting here, you have an average age of 65. The other parties are both other parties. Their average age is about 70. So it's clear 15 years. It's clear 15 years. So one person says, well, they are going to be future leaders, you know we are bringing Indiana to you. This government of youth women. Yes. No. Yes. And we believe so. When we say the next year's election, this month's election, will be based on competence. Yes, we want those who are qualified, who have the consequence. We have spoken about character. I'm showing you about character. We want the competence. People who are qualified, who understand the problem and the solution. It must be about capacity. Yes, sir. It must be about commitment. Yes, sir. It must be about compassion. Yes, sir. The goal of government is to care for the poor. How can you have millions of youths in their productive age doing nothing, and we are wasting everybody's time? We want to build a country that will be productive. Your country is not productive today. We just celebrating, wasting everybody's time. And we want to end it. Go and read my solution about production. But I just simplified it in one reason. Your entire country, 200 million people, living on 923,000 square kilometers of land. Their total export for 2021, because you might not know why the Naira is exchanging and collapsing against the dollar. What drives your rate of exchange is your reserve. What drives your reserve is your export. If you don't have anything to export, then you don't have reserve. Because it's simple, and you cannot take what you do not have, because for you to cash the money in the bank, you have to pay something in. If you have not paid anything in, there's nothing to withdraw. What did you do? In 2021, Nigerian entire export is 18.9 trillion. At 650, it's less than $30 billion. And this is what you see. These are what you're living for a country of 200 and something million people, living on 903,000 square kilometers. Compared with just one country, Vietnam, across. Vietnam is 100 million people. So it's 50% of Nigerian population. And they live on 331,000 square kilometers, which is a third of our land. Yet, their export is over 350 billion. We couldn't do 10% of what they do. That is our problem. We have got states that are huge, that are doing nothing today. Our states, the greatest state that is giving us problems today is Borno State. Borno State is the greatest problem we have in this country today. That's why we have Sambisa Forest. Sambisa Forest area is 60,000 square kilometers of land. Wow, that is 3 times the size of Israel. And it's giving us problem. What is the problem? When we can introduce something there that will make it productive. And that's what we want to change. That is what we're offering you. We assure you our commitment. Allow us, hold us responsible. A new Nigeria is possible. So we are begging you as students. Students, you are the ones that change the world. I've been to good best schools in the world. Then you have been to one. You can change Nigeria. Go there, out there and vote. Vote for Labour Party. You voted for umbrella, elite, and poverty born in your body. Suffering, as strike, everything born in your body. You voted for Groove. They swept into poverty. Now we want you to vote. Now we want you to vote for human beings. We want to care of the mother. Yes. We want to care of the father. That's so. And we want to care of the small one. That is what we want to do. And it's important that we do that. That is why we're saying, hold us responsible. And we will do it. We will make it work. You see our team here, Tati, Baba, Ame, Julius Aboro. These are all the people that came with me for Abuja. The other people are party leaders in the region. Of course, Aisha. These are the team we want to build. We want you to see a team that you can trust. It's all about trust. Above all, and finally, this job requires physical and mental energy. It's not a retirement home. Nigeria needs people who can work 30 hours or 24 hours a day. And we are prepared for the job. We are ready. All we want is for you to trust us. Go out and vote. Help us to stop the abuse of Nigeria. because the abuse that we are going through today, which was already in a very bad state, will take his revenge, very grave revenge, on you. God bless you.
That was him with the students in Abeokuta. Like I told you before, it's not, see, let me tell you something. There's nothing wrong, even if you don't. Somebody like myself, right? I don't believe in their election. I don't believe in fact, some of us believe that even if Obi become the president of Nigeria, we know the complexity and the reason why Nigeria is not working and why it won't work and what he is going to face. We all do. But all of that are never going to wipe away what you are seeing, the reality, the facts. Do you understand? You don't need to wave it aside and be like, it's nothing. Of course, it is something. Where is it going to lead them to? Just watch them. You are not one of them. You are not part of them. Break up Nigeria.